Mayor-elect Mayor Mamdani says that he will end the Adams administration's practice of removing homeless encampments from city sidewalks. But advocates argue it will be a step backwards for the city's quality of life. Ali Bauman questioned the mayor-elect about this tonight.
For the past 3 years, the NYPD has been systematically removing homeless encampments from New York City sidewalks, a practice Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani vows to end once he takes office.
They are simply pushing New Yorkers who are living in the cold to another place where they will live in the cold.
Mayor Adams ordered the crackdown in 2022, pairing police with social workers to convince them to go to shelters.
The quality of life of the city will go backwards again.
Former Chief of Patrol John Schell.
When you don't have a plan in place, you can't dismantle the one that wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good.
NYPD data obtained by CBS News New York shows so far this year, police have cleared more than 2,000 encampments and placed 117 people in shelter or housing, putting a total of 513 people in shelter or housing since the practice began 3 years ago. Homeless advocates say those numbers show a focus to treat the symptoms, not the cause.
We've seen this with Mayor Adams, that the main concern is creating the appearance that homelessness is being reduced by removing people from sight. And that's done without any thought to what's happening to those individuals who are being moved out of sight.
And this was the desire of a mayor, a guy as an assemblyman that showed up half the time for his district in Queens. Come on. And we see how that's turned out. But let's talk about the homeless situation. It's easier said than done to try to place homeless people in shelters. A lot of these people that are homeless are either war veterans, military men that have had PTSD or suffered some kind of mental illness, or people that are schizophrenic and have mental illness. But I like the way this gentleman attempted to blame the homeless crisis on former Mayor Eric Adams. Eric Adams already had his hands full with the illegal migrant crisis, okay? To the tune of, we find out now, $12 billion. The housing via the hotels and the motels that the illegal immigrants are being housed in, being lodged in, could have gone to these Vietnam veterans or the homeless people. Okay, but I have another video for you.
You can't stay out here all day and all night, man.
No,
I mean,
yeah.
Are you hitting the shelters? Are
Yeah, I'm hitting the shelters, I'm hitting the hospitals, you know.
Okay.
That's my favorite, hitting the hospitals, you know, acting like I'm really crazy, but I'm not, but I am. So they can just mellow it out.
I mean, do you, when it's warmer, are you in the shelters?
Yeah,
or
I'm in the shelter. I'm in the shelter in Connecticut. I just came back. I just got the train just now from Connecticut.
Okay. But so do you bounce between here and Connecticut as far as these are your locations that you work?
Yeah, my big grandfather was from Connecticut.
Okay.
Somerset Street.
Okay. So where are you heading now then? I mean, you just landed back in Harlem.
Uptown, baby. Uptown.
You're going uptown?
Uptown.
I was in a shelter in Ward's Island in 1 week. I had to fight 20 people. So it's like I'm 20 and over there when I was there, but I had to do what I had to do, and I'm still out here, homie. You know where I'm at in the streets, always.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
Anyway, I'm just trying to see how to try to get something to eat, even though I ain't got no money, but it is what it is. I'll figure it out.
All right, my man.
Have a good day, man. Thank you for talking to me, sir.
And the shelters in New York, they are ridden with crime, even though you have security guards, sometimes even armed guards that are in the front. You have so many different type of people that will go into a shelter, drug addicts, and you have families, even though I hear nowadays they separate the women with families, with children, from the men and other people in the shelter so that they are not, raped or abused or that sort of thing. So I do understand that there is an issue in the shelters. But when it's bitterly cold outside, you cannot allow these individuals to stay in these encampments that they've created in boxes and that sort of thing. I'm going to show you another video as to why. Okay, so make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and let's get into it.
Well, 3 more people are dead in this ongoing cold weather blast across the tri-state. The frigid temperatures now linked to more than a dozen deaths. The The total's 13 people lost since last weekend's storm and subsequent freezing weather. Pix 11's Julie Millay live at City Hall this morning on what's trying to be done to protect tragedies in the future. Julie.
Good morning to you, John. We don't have a ton of information on these three most recent deaths. The city not describing where or exactly how they happened, just that these people died out in the elements. And now with these brutal temperatures sticking around, they say they have got to step it up. The city already had warming shelters open. They had warming buses stationed outside some subway stops and outside of some shelters that were open. They say they've successfully placed more than 800 people off the streets and inside during this cold snap, which could be the longest period of sub 32-degree days here in New York City. But as you just heard Mr. G say, 31, 32 degrees doesn't really matter. You're still freezing cold. And now with news of more people dying outside, the city says they've opened a newer low barrier shelter and they're utilizing on-call ambulettes to go through the city and encourage people on the streets to come inside. Earlier this week, Pix 11's Henry Rossoff asked Mayor Mamdani if more needs to get done.
What we're seeing is that the most emergency measures that our city has taken historically, it is still something that is in need to catch up.
And back out here live, people are encouraged to call 311 or 911 if it's a serious enough situation. If you see someone out on the street and in need of help, the mayor's office saying that homeless outreach will continue with volunteers and city officials looking to help those people get off the street.
So wait a minute. The first day of Mamdani's day in office, the fares on the free buses went up, and now they include biometric tracing so that you can't even jump the turnstiles. Or if you try to enter the bus in the back, now you get scanned with the biometric data. But now as this recording is going over, it's February 1st, there have been over 14 homeless people that have succumbed to the cold. When I worked for corrections, the police didn't take no for an answer when it came to homeless people on the street. Either they were directed to a homeless shelter or a place where they could get warm, or they were locked up. Okay? There was no I'm going to stay out here and figure out what it was. No. They came to jail. They got 3 hots and a cot, 3 meals and a bed to sleep in with a pillow and blanket. And I think that's the best thing to do. That's the compassionate thing to do, especially when a person is mentally ill and they don't have their wherewithal about them. They don't know if they're coming or going. They don't know if it's cold or not. Some of them don't even know their names or where they are, but I guess this is what you get when you elect a failed legislator. But I have another video for you.
To Eugene Watts, who told us he felt safer sleeping in Penn Station than he did in a city shelter.
Is there anything they can do to make them safer that would make you want to go?
Yes, make sure people should not come in there with weapons and threatening people.
Advocates say that fear is echoed by many on the streets. I brought this to the mayor-elect.
How do you convince people and make sure that the shelters are safe for them and then convince them that that is the safer option?
We have to use the power of example. We have to get to work to ensure that when any New Yorker looks at shelters, looks at supportive housing, they see a better option than living on our streets.
Mamdani says his administration will focus on connecting New Yorkers with permanent housing.
Now, if you heard the gentleman say, the homeless person, that he felt safer staying in Penn Station because of the crime that's in the shelters. And, a lot of them, like I said, they have these security guards that work there. They probably need more police officers there, and they need to allow ICE to come into New York City to remove these immigrants that are still in these hotels and motels and house the homeless people there. Okay? The hotels and the motels in any city or state should be for the citizens there. The citizens first. Then if you want to be compassionate about something, then maybe you can take care of an illegal immigrant or two. But now he's in a situation where he has a $12 billion deficit. Police are retiring left and right. Most of them are only required to work 20 years to get their pension, and they're out, especially when you have a mayor that's anti-cop. So I don't know, but let me know what you think. What do you think about Mandami's progress so far with the people dying on the street because of the snowstorm and even the snow cleanups? I hear there's some areas in Staten Island where the streets haven't been plowed. Let me know what you think, okay? And make sure you like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.